We are back. Welcome to the Leadership Blueprint series. Today I have a very, very special guest, Mr. Eric Schuster.
Hello.
Hey, welcome, Eric.
Thank you.
Glad for you to fit me into your schedule.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. Eric, why don't you start off by sharing with the audience who you are?
Sure, sure. So, again, my name is Eric Schuster. I have been in operations and transformation and leadership for 20 plus years.
Wow.
I actually started my career at one of the biggest companies in the world, ExxonMobil.
Ah,
I was in the data and technology space. And after a few years, I learned that I wasn't going to be able to be a leader of people for a while, and I realized that was something that I was really passionate about. So I took a risk, and I decided to leave this big company and go work for a smaller nonprofit. But it gave me an opportunity to be a leader of operations, leader of this big event business at this kind of nonprofit retreat center and camp facility. It was part of this larger organization. And I was in my early 20s
wow.
and I was leading people who were more than twice my age with way more experience than
Been
me.
there, done that. Yes.
Yes.
Quite the experience.
Yes, exactly. It took a big pay cut,
Yeah.
but it was a great opportunity to kind of build and kind of learn about leadership early on in my career. And so I did that for a few years, and then I decided I wanted to keep growing, and I went to get my MBA at Georgetown University,
Woohoo.
and
Congrats.
so go Hoyas. And then after that, I found my way to AT&T. So I've been at AT&T for the last 16 years in all sorts of positions. I started with the leadership development program, and I was in operations roles, sales and service, customer experience, product partnerships, business development. At AT&T, you can kind of move around to a lot of different roles,
Yes.
finance, and I learned how to be somebody who could execute. But then over time, I evolved into somebody who could build new businesses, new operating models, new experiences. And so that's kind of how I see myself as a builder and a leader.
How does strategy fit in all of that with you?
So I kind of view it as I like to, usually there's some sort of idea
Right.
and high level strategy, and I like to refine that strategy and then take that through to execution, actually operationalize and launch these new ideas. Because
Wow.
anybody can have an idea, right?
Yeah, anyone can have an idea. Wow. Doesn't Eric have a very impressive background? Exxon, nonprofit, AT&T. I know your last role at AT&T, you were in finance.
hmm Yep.
You worked in operations, you've done transformation. Pretty impressive, my friend.
Yeah, there is a through line. I've moved around to a lot of different roles. But ultimately, uh, what I've figured out about myself is that I love to lead people. We can talk more about leadership. I love to develop people, and I love to build. I love to operate and actually kind of see everything go into fruition. Put metrics into place so that you can kind of drive performance and make it actually happen. And then you start to see your efforts kind of turn into something meaningful.
I knew there was a reason why I like you because we have a very, very similar background.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell me about
I
yours.
worked in operations, I've been in marketing, I've been in product, I've done transformation, I've done sales, I ran large teams, and the job that I'm most passionate about is leading people. That's my secret sauce. I think people are the secret sauce, but it's my what's the word I'm looking for? It's my superpower.
Superpower. I like that.
It's the superpower.
So what is it about leading that what's like the number one thing that you just love about leadership
Uh,
overall?
the one thing I love about leadership overall is you get to impact people lives positively. You get to really see people evolve and grow and become an even better leader over time. To me, that's so rewarding. And that's what I enjoy about leading people and creating an opportunity where people can make a difference, they can win. Um, And I haven't met a person who doesn't wanna be part of a winning team.
That's true.
That's the that's the exciting part. Creating an organization where you're like, "Wow, we're doing some amazing things."
I love
That's
that.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think being able to kind of shape people's lives and their careers and develop people. I was fortunate early on to have really great leaders that I worked for, and they helped me out. And they really kind of they gave me great feedback. We can talk about how
Yeah,
to give good feedback if you
yep.
want. They gave me great feedback early on, and
What was great feedback to you?
so I learned. Let's talk about feedback. I learned initially. I learned that when someone gives you feedback, a lot of times they give it to you in a sandwich, right? They have, hey, you did great here. Hey, you need to work on this. Oh, you did great in this. And so they sandwich this kind of negative or critical feedback
In
within
the
kind of,
middle.
yeah, in the
Yeah,
middle. And
yeah.
that kind of gets lost.
Right,
What my leaders did, and what I learned later on was called the direct feedback model,
mhm,
was more around, hey, what do you think you do well? That's how they started.
right,
They wanted me to talk, right? And so they said, hey, what do you think you did well? And then they would let me talk. And then they would say, hey, I think that I agree with you, and I also think you do this, this, and this well. Hey, what do you think you could improve upon? So then they switch over to the critical side, if you will,
right,
opportunities. And so what can you improve upon? And then I talk about myself. Hey, these are the things that I think I could work on, and then they can pile on from there. And that becomes a more robust, meaningful conversation versus just kind of trying to hide the
right.
negative. And so,
And I think what I like about the model, I've used it many times, is it put the ownership of your development on you.
mhm,
It's not just me saying, "Hey, Eric, you need to do that." You taking ownership and you identifying your own opportunities as well as the things that you're doing well. And it allows you to kind of take control because at the end of the day, it's your career.
exactly.
That's what I love about it. What are some of the other things you've learned about previous leaders in the past,
So
or things that they got wrong?
that's interesting. Uh,
Yes.
I brought a visual with me today.
Okay.
So it's not a PowerPoint.
All right.
So no PowerPoints today, but I did bring a Rubik's Cube.
All right.
So I want to show you something that kind of ties into a particular topic that I think might be interesting.
Okay.
Um, so, go ahead and pick a color. Let's start there.
Blue.
Blue. Perfect. So did you know that this Rubik's Cube is the top selling puzzle toy in history?
I heard of that, so I'm not surprised.
But what's interesting is that most people haven't learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube. So it's sold everywhere, or 500 million, I believe. But most people don't know how to solve a Rubik's Cube. And I wondered kind of why that's the case,
Hmm.
right? I think people inherently want to be challenged,
Right.
but they don't necessarily have the clarity or the support to be able to do that. So I think clarity is actually one of those things that's one of the most critical aspects of leadership, like creating clarity in your vision, creating clarity in your goals,
Yes.
creating clarity in your expectations, right? And, we are all really busy and we all are working really hard. And sometimes we're in this kind of chaotic environment like this cube here. Um, but, if we have clarity of goals, that leads to kind of building ownership and empowerment.
Right.
So, for example, what did you say? Blue.
Yes.
So blue, there's blue over here on this side. There's blue here. There's blue everywhere,
Correct.
right? And if I said, "Hey, we're going to try to solve this cube," that seems kind of challenging, right?
Yes.
Like difficult. But what
Daunting.
if I said daunting? Yeah, good word there. So what if I said, hey, we're going to create some clarity. We're going to focus only on one side. We're going to focus on just blue, your choice,
Yes.
right? And you create that clarity. You say, this is what we're going to go for, and you
Yes.
support them,
Right.
and that you empower them to go and figure it out, right? And so you help them make decisions,
Right.
right? You can remove obstacles, right?
Yes.
If they're kind of getting off the rails a little bit, then you kind of bring them back and redirect them. And then what happens is it kind of creates momentum. And then all of a sudden, you can solve the blue, right? And if you keep doing that over and over again, then eventually it'll solve the whole cube. And there you go.
Oh, I love it.
So
Oh, wow. That was actually a great example about clarity, goal alignment. Wow, and how to kind of build team success.
So I thought it'd be fun to just to bring a cube
Oh
and
no,
kind of highlight that. But I think clarity is really important because you see people who either micromanage or they lead with power and authority, or maybe they just want to be nice, right?
right.
Nice to their team, and they think that's leadership. But I think at the end of the day, you've got to have clarity and you've got to allow people to be autonomous, empower them so that maybe they fail a little bit and kind of help them out and support them. And I think that's what leads to meeting our goals.
Who knew Eric was gonna bring a Rubik cube today?
I knew.
He knew. He did not tell me he was bringing tricks, but I love it. I love how you reinforce the importance of clarity and goal alignment. It's so critical. So, man, you're very impressive. I knew you were, but I was just like, wow, sitting here today, I'm like, man, I wish he would have worked with me at AT&T a lot closer. And by the way, Eric and I did know each other at AT&T. We just never got the chance to work directly. But we probably been spending a lot of time together over the last 90 days.
That's right.
Yeah, so I've really gotten a chance to really get to know him even better, and I'm really delighted to have him with me today. Eric, when you went through your background, you talked about uh, nonprofit, sort of like a startup, and I've also led a startup for AI. When
Hmm.
I spent the last 4 years leading customer operations for Affinity, an AI company, AI solution company, and just different perspective, right? I mean, and we both work for Fortune 10s.
Hmm.
So talk to me about what you've learned from the nonprofit startups versus Fortune 10.
And as part of AT&T, I worked in Digital Life, which was our smart home business,
Oh my God.
and that was
I did too at some point early
eh,
on in my career. Digital life. Wow.
yeah, it's a
We
blast
go
from the
way
past,
back. Yes.
right? And it was I came in about 2 years before we even launched the business, so it was like its own startup. They allowed us to be separate from the big machine of the company, and it was very entrepreneurial. And so that's another great example, I think, of just kind of working in a almost like a startup mode, even though we had the backing and
Right.
the financials of a
But
big company.
that's a great example. I actually at that time I was in product and I was a part of the Uverse product team,
There you go.
and I launched the Uverse voice.
Yeah,
So some of you probably didn't realize that yeah, I was part of product years ago and part of Uverse, which Digital Life became part of that family
that's right.
over time. So
Yeah, in
I-
digital life, especially those first 2 years before we even launched,
right,
it was one of those kind of figure it out situations, and that's where I learned that I could build. And you have to, you don't have a choice. You have to wear a lot of different hats, and you have to figure out how to create structure within ambiguous environments.
right,
And you have to be willing to be a doer, get things done, right? GTD, I believe is what they
yeah,
call it. Got to be able to get things done, and so that's one of the most important aspects in general, but especially in a startup environment. You've got to be able to just go in, get things done, think creatively. I mean, we were creating things, experiences, and processes that never existed before in the industry, and so there was no playbook.
right.
We had to just say, okay, let's
That
just
that
think
was
about it.
my experience at Affinity. There was no playbook. It was
Yeah.
like it's almost like running gun, but it allows you to be innovative, think out of the
Hmm.
box. Because who I am, we did build a playbook and structure over time,
Hmm.
but just being able to just allow your brain to just think
Yep.
and really just go and run and be innovative and do things differently. without fear of
And
like something's gonna happen.
yeah,
You know, we really learn, and I think you would agree to this. We really learn how to fail fast in all of our assignments.
and
That
that
is a critical skill, um, and that's a critical. It's so critical for your teams to know that it's okay for them to fail fast, and you reward people for taking a risk, and taking a risk and being innovative and thinking out of the box. That's the culture you want to build.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, going back to the leadership conversation, I mean, it's all about trust and creating that safe space for your team members to know, hey, it's okay for me to fail. Now, if I fail and then I fail again and then I fail again in the same way
That,
and
that
the
that's a
same
different
thing, that's
conversation.
totally different, right?
Yeah, different conversation.
But when as that's why leadership is so important. When you kind of allow people, you empower people, and you say, "Hey, it's okay. I want you to move fast, and I want you to make mistakes, and we're going to learn from them, and then we're going to move on, and we're going to shift gears." I mean, that's what it's all about.
What else is on your mind since you're going through a transition period right now?
Mhm.
How's that going?
It's great. I'm talking to a lot of people, such as yourself,
Yes.
and something that I think is important. It's always been important is networking, and you hear that constantly. Every single person has heard at some point, "You've got to network. You've got to network." And I've mentored a lot of people
Mhm.
in my career, and I've had mentors tell me this too. But networking can be a cliche, but it's just so important to connect with other people, especially when you're not necessarily looking for a job,
Right.
right? It's important because it can help you to be more productive in what you do. And then at some point, it might actually work out in your favor that, oh, you've worked with somebody and they say, hey, I know you do a great job. I need somebody to be able to go do A, B, or C.
See.
And then, you know, you have this kind of reciprocal situation. But network, I can't tell you, I think maybe one job where I needed to interview for it, and then every other time it was through networking, typically.
No, that is so critical. It is. You're spot on. It's how do you network when you're not looking?
Mhm.
That's the piece that I think people, a lot of people wait until they need to find a job. And then all of a sudden they're like, I need to network. I need to network. Network actually happens, should happen organically. And you should be doing that throughout your current job while you're on your current role, because network is not just to find a job, it's building, learning new skills, getting an opportunity to get introduced to different people, different organization. Just so much you can gain from that. Best practices that you can take back to your current job. So I am a big proponent of networking, but not waiting. Funny story, a lot of people that I've worked with throughout my years reach out to me once they have been laid off or they moved on, and I always challenge them on, why didn't you reach out to me when you were in the role? Because I would have
Exactly.
told you to start networking now, start building those relationships internally and externally, so that when you have to move on, you've established that brand internally, externally, you can move differently.
I
Because
think
you're
that's a
actually
really deep
starting all over.
absolutely. That's a really good point, internal and external. I think I spent most of my time internally networking, and that helped me a ton just to be able to do better in my job. And as I moved around, people would say, "Hey, we need somebody over here. We need somebody over
Right.
here. Can you go? We need someone with your skill set over here doing this work." But external is also very important, and I can't tell you how critical it is to network. And I'm not a natural networker. I'm a natural introvert,
Are
and
you really?
I am,
Ah,
yeah. And I think magic and other things have helped me to, and getting up in front of people. I love performing and presenting on stage in front of hundreds of people. I actually get a lot of energy from that. But then the one-on-one, I'm more introverted. So it's kind of a unique situation. And so that's a little bit more of a challenge, but I've challenged myself to reach out to people cold or reach out through my own network to meet other people, and it's fun. It's fun to meet new
It
people,
is.
and
It is fun, and I think the message is you need to be intentional about how you network internally and externally, and it's so important for you to build that brand. It opened up so many doors, not just new opportunities, just meet people, board opportunity. It's all upside to it.
Mhm.
And for the record, I'm not an introvert. I'm an extrovert. However, I have introvert tendencies. So I have a time when I just like to be left alone. But I'm a natural extrovert. I have to laugh about that. But I also there are times where I just want to be. I need to think,
Decompress. Yeah.
decompress. I need to think. So that's very, very important to me. Hey, you said something. Did you guys hear him say something about magic, a magician? Talk to us about that.
So I've been a magician for over 30 years.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, I know, right?
Three
Uh,
decades.
yeah, yeah, I'm pretty old, let me tell you. No, I started when I was a kid.
Hmm.
I saw David Copperfield on TV. That got me excited. My brother was a magician. He showed me a couple of things. And when you do that first effect for real people,
Right.
typically your friends when you're a kid, and you get those reactions, it gets very exciting. And so I've learned that it's at the end of the day, it's all about entertainment and having a good time. And every time, every once in a while, you can fool people too, so that's fun. But it really is about just kind of joy and
Okay.
having a good time. And I love it. I've been performing all over the place. I'm part of the International Brotherhood of Magicians, and actually on the executive committee.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Wow.
The other IBM,
The other
right?
IBM. Wow.
So I period, B period, M period.
I knew this
Uh,
about you. I just wanted the audience to know, like, wow, I was shocked too, when he first shared it. You go, what? Magician? Oh, wow. That's
yeah,
pretty
and I'm a
cool.
mentalist too, so mind reader. So I might be reading your mind
I,
right
I'm not sure.
now.
I'm not sure about this mind reading thing, but magician, I'm good with. You're not reading my mind.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Since we have a magician here with us, can you show us a trick?
Absolutely. Do you have your phone?
I do.
Hey, all
This
right.
is my trick.
That's impressive.
Very impressive, right?
So open up a browser like Chrome or Safari.
All right.
I'm
There you
going to
go.
do a search on your phone. This is going to be exciting.
Okay. I'm excited.
Okay, I'm going to lock it and I'm going to hand it to you. I'm not going to come back to it until later. Okay, so just keep it safe.
Keep it
Now,
safe.
I want you to yeah, think of any number from say 1 to 100.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and say it out loud.
7.
7.
Yes.
Really?
Mhm.
Now you can change your mind. I'm going to give you a chance.
Okay.
You can change your mind if you want, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Go.
7.
We're going with 7. Okay. So 7. Let's see here. There's my notes app right
Yep.
there. So I'm going to go down to the celebrities. I have a bunch of notes here,
Yep.
and I have this list of 100 celebrities. So you can
Right.
see here. Okay. So you can see all of them are different,
Yes.
right?
I see
So
that.
you've got Brad Pitt, Zac Efron, Ed Sheeran, right? Jennifer
I
Lopez, a
saw
whole bunch of
Beyonce on there. Yeah.
Beyonce, right?
Yep.
And what number did you say?
7.
7. So if you had said like 8, you would have gotten
Tom
Tom
Cruise.
Cruise. Okay, so he didn't want to go with 8.
I didn't want to go with 8.
If you had said 6, you would have gotten
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. But you said 7. What's it say?
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. All right. So any reason that you chose 7 and you stuck with 7 and didn't change your mind?
7 is my favorite number.
There you go. Okay. Out of 100, 7 is your
7 is
favorite
my
number.
favorite
Don't
number.
forget that. So
5 is second because I was born on the 5th.
okay,
But 7 is my number.
that's good to know. So before all of this happened, I took your phone and I did a search.
Hmm.
If you could go ahead and open up your phone.
This is crazy.
Who was that?
Marilyn Monroe. This
Marilyn
is
Monroe.
crazy, guys. Crazy. this guy is for real.
in
He's a
his head.
magician. Oh my God. Look at that. And I don't think I've ever Googled Marilyn Monroe. So there you go.
We have now.
It was never in my search history. So, hmm, exactly. One of those.
And I promise that's not AI. So
It's not AI.
it's not AI.
Well, hey, thank you again. But before we wrap, let's spend some time um, just talking about what your perspective on AI. You've probably seen in the news all these various companies. Um, I think was it Oracle maybe laid off 30,000 people. Um, the sad part about it, some people are finding out in the email that
Mhm.
they no longer have a job. A lot of people pointing to AI. Let's talk about the future of work in the AI era. What's your take on it?
That's a big question.
It is.
There's a lot of different directions you can go with that.
Yes.
I mean, you can go geopolitical, humanity side of things. I think we'll probably set that aside.
Let's talk about the
Let's talk
workforce.
about
Let's talk about the skills
yeah,
needed.
exactly.
Let's talk about the role of AI.
Yeah, so I led a technology team in my last role at AT&T, and we use AI all the time. And one of my goals was to get the rest of the team to use AI.
AI adoption,
AI adoption.
very key.
And it wasn't easy initially because it was viewed as, oh, this is another tool. I already have these tools that I know how to use,
Right.
and this is just yet another tool that I have to now go learn. And like I was saying earlier, we're all busy and we don't have time to learn new things, right? Apparently. So I actually created an AI newsletter and tried to get the latest trends that were relevant to this particular organization and how to use AI. So AI adoption, I think, is really important.
It's like step one. It's like
Yes, exactly.
step one, how do you build the right adoption that also starts with building trust
Hmm.
with your team and having I like to think of AI as being part of the ecosystem. So you
Hmm.
having that dialogue right up front, what you did with your team to say, you didn't just say, we're gonna use AI. You have to use it. You have to log in, you have to go do no, you said, hey, let's talk about AI. Let's talk about how AI will improve your day-to-day operation, how AI will give you additional insights that you don't
Hmm.
have today, and how do we get you comfortable so that you trust AI.
Exactly. And just go and play around with it because that's the beauty of AI is you can, AT&T built an internal AI platform, and everybody could go and use it. So we said, hey, just go use it. Ask it questions. Don't worry about creating the perfect prompt or prompt engineering or any of that. Just go and ask questions and just interact with it so that you can become more familiar with it first. And then we start bringing in some more things after that. And I think that you build productivity using AI. And I think that's like you said, step one.
Right.
That's going to probably be incremental for an organization, for a company, but the next step and where we're seeing companies go now is integrating AI in the workflows,
Yes.
right? Agentic AI, and that's where we're going to start to see major changes. And you're already seeing that in a small number of companies like AT&T and T and others, where they're using it in customer service and network optimization, and they're making major productivity gains, efficiency gains. Design product cycle times are being slashed.
Right.
So I think that's kind of your next step. But I think an important thing here is that you still need people.
Yes.
You still need leaders in
Yes.
particular who can have checks and balances on the AI, who can
That's the
think and use their judgment.
governance is important. One of the skill sets that I think all leaders need to continue to sharpen on with AI is knowing what questions to ask. That's going to be critical. We're not asking you to be a coder, but we are asking you to think differently. And so knowing what question to ask is going to be table stakes as we continue to evolve. And the message here, at least from my perspective, AI is not going to eliminate all jobs. It's going to provide insights so that you can do your job a lot more effectively. But it will challenge you to sharpen your skills in other areas, like being more a strategic thinker. How do you
Mhm.
lead your team through this next technology era? What type of skills? How do you communicate differently? How do you build relationships? Those are the things that's going to be critical. And my other point is AI does not replace leadership. So I haven't seen an AI model yet that says they're leadership. So you still gonna need to be good leaders, make good judgment, build trust with your team like you did with your team. Those things are gonna be even more critical. And I believe leadership is the skill that's gonna rise to the top as AI continue to evolve. uh, Over the next 3 to 5 years, it's gonna be leadership, leadership, leadership. How do you complement AI with leadership?
Absolutely. And I think that it's okay as a leader to say that to your team members that AI will redefine some roles,
Yes.
right? And that's okay. Your role may not be exactly the same as it was pre-AI, and that's okay. But it's important to learn how to utilize AI so that you can figure out how your role shifts and how you can be more strategic and provide more value add.
And I would encourage you today, just start thinking differently. Stop running away from AI and just start building it into your day-to-day operation so that you use it. You're ahead of the game. You're really behind if you're not using AI. But if you really want to get ahead, build it into your models and use it to help inform you so that you can make different decisions. But more importantly, use it to help you sharpen your skills so that you're ready for the next era of technology.
Now, you don't have to be an early adopter. You don't have to be the AI junkie. We're constantly focused on AI, but I would encourage that everybody use it every day, interact with it, try to problem solve with it, and then go and maybe listen to a podcast.
Yes.
You know, listen to a specific AI podcast. Read these TLDR newsletters
Right.
where it's only maybe 5 minutes out of your day, but it's consistency. It's not about doing it all just once and then forgetting about it and then coming back 6 months later because it'll evolve. It evolves constantly.
And there's several books out about AI. It's for beginners. So I would
Mhm.
just take advantage, pick up the book, look at the podcast. There's lots of information out there and it's never too late. Anything else to close us out as we get ready to wrap? Any closing remarks from you, Eric?
I love talking about leadership. I could probably talk about it all day. So this has been really exciting for me, and hopefully everybody here who's watching this has gotten at least a little nugget out of it and enjoyed themselves, with a little bit of magic.
Yes, so I just want to say thank you to Eric for joining me today. And you heard from Eric. He's a builder, he's an operational guy, he's a transformer, he also is a magician.
So if anybody wants to get in touch with me, they can go to ericschuster.com. That's ERICSCHUSTER.com. That's my magic and mind reading website, but you're welcome to go on there and fill out a contact form, and I'll get the email. Or you can go to my LinkedIn, uh, and you can just search for Eric Schuster and you'll find me there.
And if you're looking for a dynamic senior leader, reach out to Eric Schuster. Or you can reach out to me and I'll get you to Eric Schuster. So I am going on record. I'm giving thumbs up for Eric Schuster's. I am Anthony E. Tuggle, and my guest today is.
Eric Schuster. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.